Hey, this is Josh with Tactical Black Vault, and you're listening to the Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Mr. Guitar Knob himself. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, man. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me. I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I've known about you for a while now. Our friends over at Lift the Curse love to promote you pretty well. And so John, I saw his knobs on his guitar one day, and I'm like, whoa, those are sick. And then I
Thank
went to
you.
his page and I was like, oh shit, this is where he got it from. And then it just led me down a huge rabbit hole. And here we are.
Yep, here we are.
How'd you
Yeah,
get connected with John and Lift the Curse, and how did all that kind of start for you?
that is a good question. So, Johnny from the Browning had reached out to me. I had followed his page, and we had talked back and forth. And for one of his albums, that was kind of this really cool green and purple album, he had me do a bunch of pairs of knobs as like a limited thing that they would sell on their website. And I know John at some point was a guitarist for the Browning. So I believe that Johnny gave John a pair of knobs as like, hey, this guy makes really cool stuff. And then John from Lift the Curse contacted me afterwards and had gotten more stuff. And then as time went on, I started doing the custom logo stuff, and then
Yeah.
obviously went from there. John's great. John, if you're listening, you're my number one supporter, dude, and I appreciate it so much.
Hell yeah. Shout out to John. That's his name? John?
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Hmm.
Shout out to John. Good guy.
Good guy.
So what about you, Josh? How when did you start doing this and kind of why? What made you want to be like, I want to make some fucking cool guitar knobs and customize them for rock stars? Or where did this whole idea come from?
Hopefully, it's an interesting story. So okay, let me back up a little bit.
Yeah, you're
Me
good.
and my family run a tactical self defense center here in Phoenix, Arizona,
Ah.
called Tactical Black. And it's a system of self defense that we teach. We train mostly civilians, but we do work closely with law enforcement agencies and military groups as well. And I've been doing that for the last, this year is actually our 25th year anniversary as a
Oh
family business
wow.
here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. But the really cool thing is my father, Jay, is a musician. He's been playing guitar for 57 years almost now.
Wow.
Taught me how to play guitar. I can play guitar, bass, and drums.
Hell
We
yeah.
play together in a band. I'm the bassist of the band, and my son Braden is the piano player. So it's really cool. There's three generations
That's awesome.
in the band. But to answer your question directly, what got this started was COVID. I
Mm.
was during COVID, so 2020. Our gym was closed down mandatory for probably 6 months between both closures. It was like, yeah, like 2.5 and 2.5, I
Mm.
remember. And during that time, sitting in my office, having not much to do and staring at my bass, I was making rings actually out of resin. So I was doing like some jewelry stuff and getting involved with that. And literally one day I looked over at my bass and I was like, I've never seen anybody make knobs that matches the color of the bodies of guitars or basses before. And I think that might be an overlooked, like accessory upgrade, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it
That
is actually.
nobody's done.
I've
And
never even thought about that.
yeah, like I said, it was one of those things where like I was doing the resin rings. It was fun to do. I was getting involved with some other jewelry stuff also, and I don't know. I was doing that, and I was also making I was doing chainmail. So I was using like stainless steel, rings to make chainmail bracelets and necklaces. And I was, I think, getting a little bit more involved with that at the time. And my resin blocks were kind of just collecting a little bit of dust. And I was like, I need to find a use for them also. And anyways, so that's where I started. So I took the knob off of my Schecter bass and was just like, okay, here's the measurements of it, here's the internals of it, and I was like, all right, to the drawing board we go. And in about a month or so of messing around with different designs, I think I kind of had a consistency of what I liked. showed the family, and they're like, "This is pretty cool. I've never seen this before. Why don't you make a shop?" And I made a shop, and we were trying to think of a name for it. And I said, "How about the Tactical Black Vault?" And they're like, "Oh, that's really cool." So it kind of stuck. So that's the whole reason. Like people are like, "What's so tactical about guitar knobs?" I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, "It's just
Just a
it's a
cool
nod.
name.
Yeah, it's a nod to what I do for my profession." So
Yeah.
this is yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool because like this can also be a family business too. Like you can pass the guitar knobs down to your
Oh yeah,
son.
absolutely. Hmm.
Like the family business did with you, and like just keep it all running and the name's the same. I think that's really cool, dude. That's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
How does your son feel about these knobs?
He likes them. Yeah, he plays piano, but he started to get involved with playing. I mean, he could play guitar and bass now, pretty much just as good as he plays piano.
Oh yeah.
And so, of course, any knobs that I make that I either have like that are like a prototype or an idea, like I can let him use, and he can put them on his guitar. So he thinks it's really cool. And it's
Cool.
as a byproduct, obviously, it's gotten us into like if I do work for a band and they're in town, we get on a guest list a lot of the times,
Hell
we get
yeah,
into
that's
a
cool.
show. Sometimes we get pit tickets. Sometimes we get like all access where we're backstage and we get to meet the bands.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
his very first concert he went to with me was back in 2024 at a festival called U Fest here in Arizona. Um, and the We got access to it actually not by the guitar knobs that I do, but there's a radio personality that we train here locally that has connections to that because their radio
Mm.
station puts on UFest. So we were fortunate to get in for that, but I mean, we got to meet the guys from POD. We got to meet the drummer from Motionless in White. But anyways,
Sick.
his like yeah, we got to meet Doc from. He was playing with Bad Wolves at the time, Doc Coyle,
Mm.
and it was like his first concert. He gets to be in the pit, up close with everybody, and gets to meet like a lot of band members and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you'll
Yeah.
get used to this. This isn't how it goes usually and
Yeah.
stuff.
Wh-
Um,
What I
yeah,
love about what you're saying is out of all this stuff, you just seem like a fan first. You're like, I just want to do this because it's fun and I love it. And now I could connect with people who I like who have inspired me musically to kind of do this stuff.
that's my favorite thing
Yeah.
about
And
this
now you're just in
is
it.
being able to
Now,
connect to the band. I'm
right.
a fan first.
Yeah.
Out of
You have to
all the
be.
bands, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you absolutely have to be in order for this to and I think when people have passion, it's very easy to tell that. And it's like, oh, this person's doing it for the right reason and blah blah blah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Cool.
it was an accidental gateway into like connecting with the artists and stuff because I didn't know how it would
Yeah.
go. I mean, I
Yeah.
threw some knobs up on the shop and was like, all right. I do want to shout out to Alex from there's a local band here called Dead, DED. I mean, they're local here, but they're well known. And he was actually the first artist that bought stuff from me and started to talk about it, and I think really helped with like Instagram and social media because I'm not a personal social media person by any means. Like someone could give two shits like what I had for dinner and I take a picture of it, throw it on Instagram. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The only
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
I use
yeah.
social media is because of the vault, but so,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So
he was instrumental.
so this has been 6 years that you've been doing this. How is
Mhm.
it like how has the progression been since you started it till now? Or just even like halfway through it? Like what has that progression been like for you for the last 6 years?
It's been cool. The This kind of ties back into what I was saying about Alex is like there was a little bit of buzz with me connecting with him talking to people about it. Um, and it was, the first few years it would be like a sale here and there. It was mostly me just spending my time experimenting with different designs and stuff. And like if my phone, if my phone went off with a Shopify sale, I was like, oh, cool. Like someone cared enough to actually like buy something. Funny enough, one of the first sales that I ever got was a guy that made custom gaming keyboards, and
Mm.
he bought the knob as the volume control for the keyboard.
Oh,
And
cool.
it matched the whole like layout that he was doing. It was really cool. It was a clear keyboard that he had copper going through it, and he patinaed the copper on purpose, and it had this really cool patina color. And I have knobs that matched it like exactly. And that was like one of the first sales I remember that I ever had. So it wasn't even for a musician; it was for this guy that made this custom gaming keyboard. I was like, "Oh, that's sweet," because
Yeah.
I'm a big gamer myself. So that was really really cool. But so so it started off slow, like everything new does, until you get your name out there. And I I started to get a sale here and there. Social media, like Instagram in particular, was very, no pun, instrumental with getting my name out there, being on my path with
Absolutely.
artists.
Yeah.
I slowly found out that, like, yes, there's a lot of artists that actually do respond to comments, or if you follow them, they'll follow you back, or they'll look at your page.
Yeah.
I was a little intimidated at first, like, trying to, like, like, how would I talk to these people? Would they even care? Would they even notice?
Dude,
Um,
same.
yeah. And I was like, well, I just whatchamacallit, I just saw you at Jay, right? On the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I was like,
Weinberg,
dude,
man.
sweet, yeah.
Dude,
And
I don't know how I got through that interview.
yeah.
I
Oh
actually
my God.
warned him. I warned him before we started. I'm like, Mr. Weinberg, just so you know, I'm very nervous to have this interview with you, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through it. And he's like, we're just two dudes talking. You're good.
Yeah.
Dude, his
Oh,
presence is just like very
right.
calming and
That's cool.
relaxing and just
That's
like
cool.
cool. It made it a very good conversation. So shout out to
Yeah.
Jay. But
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like how do you even talk to these people? Like I don't know your world. What are you doing? What are you talking to me for?
That's sometimes I feel like that when I get a chance to, like, meet some of these guys and we're talking backstage for a little bit. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what do I say? How do I relate? Like,
Yeah.
is it like fortunately, it's really never been oh, hey, thanks, bro, for the knobs. And it's like, yeah, I'll see you later. Like, everyone's like been really cool and taking the time to actually talk to me. And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I ask the same questions to every person that I meet and stuff. But it's
Sure.
like, and like, there's a big part of me that's still kind of like, a little like starstruck, that I'm like, oh shit, I get to talk to like this person from this band.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, so I get nervous, for sure. But
Yeah. One thing that I was going over with, you know the band Ballyhoo by any chance?
I don't think so. It
Well,
might sound a little familiar.
you gotta check them
Check
out.
them
You
out.
gotta check them out. They're
Okay.
like reggae beach music,
Okay.
punk rock beach music. I don't know what their exact genre is, but they're fucking amazing. Anyway, I was
That's
interviewing
cool.
Howie, the vocalist from that band, and he was saying, and I was like, "Oh man, you're right." And I kind of figured out what I was going through from what he said, and he said that sometimes when he's on stage, he feels imposter syndrome. He's like, "Why are you guys at my show right now? Like, why are you
Yeah.
guys like I'm up here and you're singing along my words? What are you doing?" And then I was like, "Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm an imposter in this scene too."
Yeah. I've hear that a lot with artists,
Yeah.
that it's just a thing, kind of like, I don't know if it's like I can't believe that I've actually made it to this, where I have fans and they're singing my songs and they're coming to my shows,
Yeah.
because I know I'm doing it. I'm singing along with the songs, and
Yeah,
I
you're
don't have
going to
much
the
hair,
shows.
but headbanging as much as I can with the. I always joke that I want to wear a wig to one of these, so at least I can properly headbang.
There you go. There you go. Hell yeah. Me too.
So
Um,
how did you get involved with doing all the podcast stuff, if you don't mind me asking?
no, definitely not. I'm very open about all this stuff. And 2022 was a very hard time in my life. I attempted suicide that year
Wow.
and I was in the hospital for a bit. And when I came out, what really got me my headspace out of the really negative bad spot was music. And it wasn't just music, it was the lyrics specifically.
Sure.
And I think when you can hear a vocalist singing or screaming something and you can feel it and it gives you goosebumps, that's
Yep.
the magic right there. That is the magic. I
Yep.
mean, sometimes guitar solos do that for me. Of course they do. Shout out to John from Lift the Curse. But
Yes.
I love drums. So yeah, drumming has always been. I actually wanted to be a drummer first,
Very cool.
but my dad convinced me not to. So I told Jay, I was like, "Your dad probably didn't convince you not to, did he?" Um, Funny. Anyway, but yeah, and it was then when I realized, oh, this is the power of music right here.
Totally.
And then I was just like, because I've always been a lyric fan myself. Like even just like when I would buy CDs, like I would put the CD on and like read the booklets of the lyrics and like just listen to it front to back and reading lyrics. And I've
Of
always
course.
been like, what does this mean? What is he talking about here? I want to know
Yeah.
more. And so the song that really, really saved me was Snuff by Corey Taylor. And it's like the
Okay.
acoustic version that he did in London. And you can
Yeah.
just hear the pain in his voice and the sadness.
Yeah.
And even afterward, he goes, wow, that's a tough one. And I'm just like, yeah, there it is.
Wow. Man.
There it is.
That- Yep.
And I
That's
was
great.
just
Oh,
like, you know what? I'm like, because I feel sometimes lyrics get overlooked.
yeah.
And especially like when you're screaming, like you have to want to know what he's saying to like really get to
Sure.
learn it, sometimes,
Well,
sometimes.
yeah, and there is, and yeah, it's funny. The couple things. I'm old, so I forget stuff that I'm going to say sometimes. So I'm trying to keep this in the back of my brain what I want to say. But first, yeah, it's like the whole thing of like just metal music, heavy music in general. Is like, why would you want to listen to that? It's just a bunch of people screaming, and it's like,
Right.
it's the mode of how it's delivered. It's not that like. I mean, I do enjoy the screaming. That's like why we all like the heavy music, but it's like the emotion that's put behind it and why they're screaming
Right.
and
What
and
they're
some of the
saying when they're screaming.
correct and some of the times like yeah lyrics can be bad negative lyrics but like you can take bands that have very positive messages um I think like
Yeah.
Killswitch Engage comes to mind with
Hmm.
Jesse's like lyrics of stuff and it's like it's delivered in a
Yeah.
screaming manner but
Five
it's
Finger Death Punch.
yeah and it's positive
Right.
stuff and it's like and I mean you can't deny too the raw energy of a live show with that type with that genre of
Oh, there's
music it's
nothing,
like
there's nothing in the
it's in,
world like it.
it's infectious
Yeah,
yeah
it is.
yeah it is
It
but
is.
you made me think of I had a man this was back in either like middle school or beginning of high school it's been quite a few years we had an English teacher that had us take song lyric. They like take a song you like, and like look at the lyrics and try to like basically like figure out like what they're trying to say. What is the song about? I forgot what writing exercise it was, but it was really cool because that was the first time it actually made me really pay attention to lyrics. And I remember
Ooh.
specifically it was "Down in a Hole" from Alice in Chains. That
Oh,
was like the song that I chose because
okay.
probably at the time I was when I learned how to play guitar, I was 10 years old. So it was 93. And my dad was teaching me. And the coolest thing that he did was like, all right, you want to learn how to play guitar? Just what, I mean, he kind of knew like what I liked, but he's like, I will teach you anything that you like. You don't have to, I'm not going to make you learn Mary Had a Little Lamb and,
Yeah.
all this exercise stuff. He hit the ground running with me with like showing me songs that like I liked and like how I can learn them. And at the time, Alice in Chains was one of my favorite bands. So I remember just learning how to play and all that. So, anyways, that was really cool, and that was the first time I had like really take a deep dive into like the lyrics of this and like how heavy it was lyric
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
you're right. Lyrics can have a huge impact on people with their emotional state and helping them through something,
Yeah.
helping them channel what they're feeling for
Yeah.
sure. I know it's helped me. So yeah,
Yeah. And when I really knew that that was the magic there, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is getting me through my entire life right now. This is getting me through everything.
that's awesome.
Um, and and then I thought, well, if somebody else can be saved or like find hope by like actually reading the lyrics that a band is saying, an artist has written, and what that story is and what it's about, like that's the whole point of this podcast. So I'll bring a band on and we listened to their lyrics together. And I asked them, "What does that mean? What does this mean?" And we have an hour and a half long conversation about it most times, and it's you really start to dive into the lyrics. The
That's really
stories,
cool.
the stories are wild.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think I've really seen a podcast other than yourself that has really done that. Like
Yeah.
pretty niche. And that's really cool because then you
Thank
get
you.
they I mean, I'm sure like artists get interviewed and they ask, "Hey, like what was your mental state when you were writing the song, like, blah blah blah." But it's cool to like listen to the song and like really go through things
Yeah.
and
Listen
yeah,
to it
just
with them
yeah.
and like see their reactions when I tell them what the song means to me because I also do that too. I'm like, okay, when
Yeah.
I first heard this lyric here, this is how I took it. And they're like, that's not at all how I wrote it, but I love that you can take it and make it your own. And
That's
so
cool.
it's a really cool thing to see bands hear live in person what somebody else thinks of their lyrics as they're listening to it. So it's just a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have two episodes of those out now with Lift the Curse. Um, their song just that came out not too long ago, House of
Of
Horrors.
course. Yep.
That song's sick. I broke
Mhm.
that one down with them. The lyrics are great. I love that song. I think that's my favorite Lift song.
Yeah, that's up there. It probably
That's
is
up
mine
there.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just like, you know what? I gotta pay it back. I gotta pay this back to the community that has saved me. And I'm like, all
Awesome.
right, this is what I'm doing full time. And then, but then, you have guests like Jay come on or like Brian from Metal Blade Records. And it's just like, I can't break down a song with them. How do I talk to these people? And so, like, the first couple ones where I was just chatting with somebody like Brian, I'm just like, oh, what am I doing here? But now I'm doing that. Now I'm having a lot of people come on, such as yourself, where we talk about what they do, why music is so important to them, and yeah, just start spreading awareness through every avenue, touring musicians, techs,
Yeah.
artists, all of it, all of it. We all
Yeah.
go through the same thing. We're
Yep.
all in this same community and we get it. So I don't want to leave anybody out. Let's bring album artwork people. Let's do this.
That's that. No, that's
You
really
know?
really cool. And yeah, to piggyback on that, I had an idea, but I had really no clue how close like the music community, like how everybody knows everybody in this community. It
Yeah.
is
It
crazy.
really is.
For good or for bad, if you're an asshole, like people are gonna know about it, and if they like
Yeah.
your stuff, they're also gonna know about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been fortunate that the word's been spread around with what I do with the knobs and stuff like that. But yeah, and
But it's
it's
stuff
just
like
really cool
this,
to see.
like working with the community and just like being friends and
Yeah,
let's all support each other. Like,
absolutely, absolutely.
well,
Music.
what are the,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, music unites us all, man.
It
It
really
definitely
does.
does. It's
Well,
important.
since we're talking about music, let's go back to you just for a second. What is your relationship like with music? Like when you're, let's just say when you're not doing knobs or playing music physically yourself, like on a daily basis for work and just like, getting to and from. I mean, I don't know. What role does music play in your life and how important is that to you?
I'm never not listening to music.
Right.
It's if I'm gaming, it's usually not like listening to like what's going on in the game. I'm usually listening to to music.
Yeah.
When I'm working on guitar knobs, I have earbuds in that are noise canceling because of all the machinery, and I'm of
Mhm.
course listening to music.
Just
Usually,
gets you
like
through the day.
it does. Growing up in a household of a musician, my father he was always playing guitar. Um, and it like it expanded my genre of stuff too because I had gone through a bunch of different tastes of genres of stuff, but like of course like with him it was like classic rock, so it was like Led Zeppelin, Eagles, Beatles, Aerosmith, Doobie Brothers, all that time frame. And that's I was learning how to play some of that stuff too because I would just hear him play like a Led Zeppelin song. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, teach me Stairway to Heaven, teach me Over the Hills and Far Away, like stuff like that. And that
Teach
would be
me
stuff that I
Stairway to
was,
Heaven. You got
yeah,
it. It's that
yeah.
easy.
one of
Just
the
kidding.
first songs I actually learned.
That's sick.
Uh, I tend to this. I don't want to make this sound weird, but like I can learn pretty quick. I picked up guitar pretty quick, and he was like, "You," he's like, "You fucker."
Yeah.
He's like, "You
Yeah.
don't know how you don't know how many times I picked the needle up and put it back down on the record to list because I had to do things by ear or by actual sheet music. I mean, by the time I was
Um,
learning, tablature was out, and it was easier to learn how to
right,
read. But
right.
I'm a visual person, so he would sit down, play it, and then I would try to recreate it. And then, of course, I'd be like, my fingers hurt like this. He's like, yeah, you got to build calluses. You got to learn how to hold the strings down.
Yeah.
But I was a pretty quick learner, and once I was able to read tablature on my own, I could pretty much figure stuff out. And then I would just go to him when I would be like, I cannot understand this section of whatever, and he's like, oh, you just do this, this, and this, and
That's so
um,
cool to have that person to ask advice on that kind of stuff for.
so so
Most
I
of us
think
don't
yeah,
have that.
yeah, and he minored in music theory, so I mean he
Mm,
understands like
yeah.
where he's at on the fretboard, like he explains it to me all the time, and I semi understand stuff, and I'm still kind of like just like show me the YouTube video or show me the tabs, and I'll learn the song type of thing. But I'm getting better at that. But no, I think music has obviously kept us, father and son as a bond, and then now this generation with me and my son, it's now father and son as a bond. Because I mean, Braden has his own Instagram account, which I mean, you can go check out and stuff like that too.
Cool.
What he really likes to do to give him a plug, he'll take like grunge rock stuff or even metal, and he transposes it to piano and does everything, not just the chords. Like he plays the voicing of it, so all the lyrics on piano. We were just at Guitar Center I was getting new bass strings a couple weeks ago, and the manager came over because he was playing Interstate Love Song from Stone Temple Pilots on the piano, and the manager sat there and watched the whole song, and
Mm,
he was like, "I've never seen somebody transpose Stone Temple Pilots to a piano," and I'm sure other people have out there on the internet.
sure,
But to
sure.
watch a 14-year-old kid that's self-taught do that, he was just like, please tell me you're going to go to school for music and everything
Yeah.
else.
Music is a
And
big role in your family, not just you, but your like entire family.
yeah, I think that's my wife plays piano.
Oh,
So
cool. There you
I play
go.
instruments. And that's circling back to the whole COVID thing. Obviously, the guitar knob stuff came out of that. But my son Braden taught himself how to play piano during that time too.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
and
as rough as 2020 was, there was a lot of good things, positive things that came out of
yeah,
it for a lot of individuals.
there was. So
Yeah.
trying to think of what else music. So I mean, yeah, music is a family thing for me.
Mhm.
It's an escape. Um, I still like out of everything. It's metal, metalcore, all the genres of metal is my preferred thing
Yeah,
to listen to. You just can't get away from the energy
you
of
can't.
that style of music. I
Yeah.
love it, but I do listen to other things as well. Metal and like EDM. I go back and forth between the
Ah,
two.
okay.
And then when you can combine both of them together, like, oh man, that's my sweet spot.
Being in Arizona, have you ever gone over across the street to Vegas and go to EDC?
I haven't.
You haven't.
Uh, I haven't yet.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, he goes by First Edition. He does local shows here, and he played one of the stages at Decadence last year over New Year's.
That's sick.
So he does all of his own producing and
Very
everything
cool.
too. So yeah,
Look at everybody.
I
You're
know
just surrounded by musicians.
I am. And so
Yeah.
can't get away from it even
Can't
if
get
I
away
wanted
from
to.
it.
But
So I
no,
have an interesting question for you about
sure.
the process of making it.
Hmm.
Um, when it comes to mental health, when you are like, okay, you know what? For whatever reason, I'm not having the best of days. What does the physical act of like making things and listening to music and doing something productive and kind of just being in your own world, what has this company, this technical black bolt company, done for your mental health?
That's a great question. Every stress of life, every thing that I might be worried about for the day, for the month, for the year, all melts away when I'm working on the knobs. I'm a
Yeah.
fidgety person by nature. Like I'm always twirling a pen or flipping
You're
something
always
in
just
my hand.
twirling a pen like I'm doing right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm you can't see I'm spinning my wedding ring on my finger right now.
Dude, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I can't get through these interviews without a pen in my hand and I'm twisting the
Yeah,
little
dude.
like little cap.
So I mean, I have some type of undiagnosed, probably ADHD.
Sure,
But
sure.
I've always been like that. I've always have to like do something. So like I think playing an instrument, playing video games, making guitar knobs, it's always like,
Just keeping the
you know,
brain busy.
it keeps the brain busy. Yeah. Even when I'm
Yeah.
teaching classes, I'm always like, the students will laugh because I'm always flipping a training knife around or a pair of nunchucks or something like that. Like, and they're all like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, it helps me think. Just don't even
Yeah.
pay attention to it." They're like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, like the knobs is like a cool like escape for me. Like I said, I'm focusing so much of what I'm doing because I'm a perfectionist, I think, when it comes to that. Like if there's a
Yeah.
little like scratch, nick, ding in something, I'm like, that's getting sanded out before this is getting shipped to this person. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
so yeah,
You care about it.
I
You care
do.
about it a little bit. You
I
want
have
to
a,
give some quality products out here.
I do, but it really helps because, like I said, everyone I think needs something in their life that allows them to just like I don't, I might be what do I want to say?
Escape.
They need that escape. It's like, yeah, I might be behind in rent, or I might have a shitty relationship right now with somebody, or I might, or I just got into a car accident. I can't afford to repair my car right now. But it's like, you know what? At least I can sit down and do this for X amount of hours, and I can actually have some like, just mental escape from all the shit and just be able to focus and be happy for a little bit type of thing too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying like I have a good life,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but
We
but
all just need
like
a little escape every once in a while. It's all
but
good.
it
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, it's something cool, and I know like the end product of what I'm doing puts a smile on somebody else's face, as well. With the knobs and with what I do with the self defense. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
cooler than having somebody's like, I have confidence in my life now because what you've taught me gives me just more self esteem that I can walk around and feel like I'm a safer person because
Yeah,
of what
I
I
get
do
it.
too. Not
Yeah.
to branch too much into the self defense world of what I do,
No,
but
but that's all
but
part of it though too,
yeah.
because it's those kind of things. Like for example, I haven't done it too much lately, but I used to go boxing all the time. I used to just
Okay.
love putting a pair of gloves on, just hitting the bag, and just
Yep.
like I used to take classes all the time, and after I would get out of the class, just like dripped in sweat. I'm like, oh fuck, this feels so good. And then when
Yeah.
I'm walking to the subway, I'm like, I can beat that guy up now. I know I can. Don't mess with me, dude. Don't mess with me. I just
Yeah.
got out of boxing class, so I get
Yeah.
it.
No, well, exercise, it releases
It'll,
endorphins. I mean, it's a
yeah,
scientific thing. It
yeah.
does make people happier. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that come in to do a bag workout at our place, and they're like, man, I was having such a crappy day, but I get to beat the crap out of this bag for 45 minutes, and they're
Hell
all
yeah.
smile. They're all smiles when they leave. That's for sure.
Where do you do this at? Do you want to plug this real quick and see if, try to get people to go out there? Like, what is it? Tell us a little bit about that. Like, where is it and what do you offer there?
So we're located in northern Phoenix, in Arizona. If you guys are local and you're watching this, we're right off the 101 in Cave Creek. If you're
How
not
far
local,
is
you have
that? How far is that from Chandler, Arizona?
it is about probably like 30 minutes,
Oh,
20,
okay.
20, 20, 30 minutes, not far.
Oh,
Um, the
my
way
my
our
wife
freeway,
and I are moving out there later this year.
really?
We're going to be Arizonians with you.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. You won't be, you'll have to come up and do some classes and we'll have to
I
definitely
would
meet in
love
person.
to, man. I'd love to. I'd
Yeah.
love to like film your little space too. I don't know if you have it like your studio's like set up in that way, but it would be cool to kind of do a little story, go in, show you like how you make them, and do a little
Oh yeah,
video
yeah,
on it. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
for sure. No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
No, you
but
won't be
yeah,
far. So at least you guys are familiar with Arizona, obviously, if you're moving out here, type of
hmm
thing. But freeway system's great. I mean, you can get anywhere on the freeway, whether you're on the 101, 202, 303, 51. It seems like everything's pretty accessible from
cool.
the freeway. But yeah, we do self defense classes. We do fight classes, fitness classes. So we're pretty much a full fledged, like you can get anything that you're looking for as far as that goes. And
Hell yeah.
we're a big facility. We're 10,000 square feet.
That
We
is
have
big.
yeah, we have multiple training rooms. We have an actual two-story house that's built into our facility to replicate like home invasion scenarios. Uh, we can turn the upstairs into like a bedroom, a bar, whatever you want to work through different scenarios. And on the bottom level of our home, we have one room that is dedicated to be an airplane. So we have the real seats and the real fuselage built into a room.
Oh,
So
wow.
we can simulate being on an actual plane, like actual seats that you're belted into, and the sound
Oh,
effects of being on a
shit.
plane. And yeah, we're like a little tactical Disneyland, so to speak.
I gotta go check that out when I get there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check
absolutely.
it out. That sounds fun. Do you
Yeah.
play music while you're doing like when you're training and doing the
Mhm.
self-defense stuff? I'm sure you got some metal playing in the background there.
That's what actually got me in more into metal.
It all
I
ties
think that
back into metal.
I think the heaviest thing that I listened to, the heaviest thing that I listened to as we got into this, because like I said, we've been doing it for 25 years, was like I would consider probably like Metallica is like super heavy to me at the time. And I
Yeah.
remember like my dad was like, "Hey, like I want some like good energy music going in the classes, while we're hitting stuff, music that people want to hit something to."
Absolutely.
And that was actually the gateway to me researching like. I mean, at the time, it was hard to go on the internet to find a lot of stuff because that was back in like 2000. Um, 2000 2001. It was still like where you would go to like Tower Records and like listen to CDs before you'd buy them, or like
Just
um
scan it on the little barcode thing, put the headphones
yeah,
on. Fuck yeah, I
yeah, or
missed
like
that.
or like or like there's a local I think they're in Arizona, I think a few other states, but Zia Records.
Zia.
um
I've heard of Zia
yeah,
Records. Yeah, of course.
yeah, that was like a really cool place to go, and it still is a cool. I go there a lot still, but like you would go there and they would have listening stations for all the new music that's come out.
Yeah.
But
I
that
used to
got
get
me in.
so excited when I totally forgot that you can scan the CDs and listen to them in the store.
Yeah,
And not
yeah,
all of them did it. And then there were some stores where
no,
you can like slide through and pick the ones you wanted to listen to.
hmm yeah, they have like different like
We need to
listening
bring that
station
back.
towers, and I
Yeah.
know,
Oh my
but
God. Anyway,
I
I'm
would
sorry. Go
spend
ahead.
no, no,
Yeah.
dude, you're good. I would spend hours at those stores,
Yeah.
just like finding music, and that was a cool thing because like you would either have like like a friend that would be like, oh, I just listened to this band, and you got to hear them. It wasn't as easy as just going on Spotify and going,
Yeah.
I like X band, and then you go cool, and then it's like here's all the other bands that you might like because of you like X band, and it's like that's
Yeah.
how you find stuff. But
Overwhelming,
anyway,
actually.
yeah, it's it's hard to keep up with
Let me
sometimes,
focus on this one CD first.
right?
Let me get through this one.
But no, that was the gateway into me finding like metalcore. So like Killswitch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine. Trying to think,
I know Atreyu,
like
Avenged Sevenfold,
Atreyu,
all
yeah,
those
Avenged
bands.
Sevenfold, Soilwork,
Yeah, 3 Days Grace,
yeah,
all
and
of them.
yeah, that's what like,
Yeah.
and so like, man, did I start going down that rabbit hole because I was like, and like the first time it was, I mean, not to keep talking about Killswitch Engage, they're one of my top bands. The first time that I heard it was Howard was when they were with the band. It
Mhm.
was when End of Heartache broke, and I was like, "You mean to tell me someone can scream and sing like back and forth?" I was blown away. How can somebody do this? How are they not killing their voice? And then
Yeah.
of course, as time goes on and YouTube becomes more popular, then like I find myself going down like rabbit holes for like 3 hours of like how to scream properly, knowing full
Right.
well that I'm like not going to do that myself, just like being fascinated with like the technique and
Absolutely.
process. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once I heard that, and like there was like a genre that it was like tied to, and I could find other bands similar to that, I was like so enthralled with that,
Yeah.
and to this day, like you can't beat it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean my first band that just I mean there's a list of things that it did to me. Linkin Park, when I first heard Hyper Theory and I started watching like the One Step Closer videos and I'm like, who is this guy who's just like who has these flame tattoos, who is
Yep.
singing his heart out on Crawling, but then you hear him screaming shut up
Yeah.
on One Step Closer. He goes from screaming to singing, but he's got these tattoos and he's got a cool style, and then
Yep.
they have a rapper, they have a DJ. I'm like, what is happening here? What is this band? And it just
Yeah.
led me down all these other bands too, which
That's
was
so cool.
uh
Yeah, that they're my son's favorite band. We saw I was unfortunately never saw Linkin Park with Chester, but we
oh
we went last year to see Linkin Park in Phoenix here, and I took my son and he was so excited. And they put on with Emily. I mean, I like both of them equally. Emily was amazing, and that show was amazing. They put on an incredible show, so
I've
that was
got
that was really cool.
my little Hyper Theory tat right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, one of my instructors actually has a Linkin Park tattoo as well
Cool.
too. It's his favorite band. But
Yeah, they were at
similar
my first
story.
rock show. First
Oh,
rock show
that's
of all
really
time.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a coworker come in back when I was like I'd have been 15 or 16 years old, my first job, and he was whatever concert was here. He came back. He's like, dude, I just heard this band called Linkin Park. He's like, I've never heard this before. He's like, I bought
Yeah.
their CD like at the show because he's like, I was so impressed. Little to know that Hybrid Theory hit like every song was a hit like on the
Yeah.
radio. And like I listened to it too, and I was like, dude, this is like so heavy and so cool. The whole rap and rock thing with it.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, that
Ugh.
was special. It certainly was.
I think Chester was one of our biggest losses of all time.
Yep, I agree.
Mm.
Hmm.
Anyway, he's always right here with me though. I got him right there. He's always singing behind me.
Nice.
He's always singing behind me.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons we are here is because you and I were, like I said, I saw your knobs and I was like, this is sick. And I was like,
Thank
I need
you.
some heavy mental breakdown knobs. And I reached out and we talked about some knobs. And yeah, I think you and I here are doing a little collaboration
Yep.
with
I'm
heavy
excited.
mental and your knobs. I think you have some right there, or you have one right there to show,
I
right?
have one that I did. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see this okay.
Look how
Is
beautiful
that is
that
that coming
is.
in?
Look at
There
that
you go.
little,
Yeah.
yeah, look at that little head. That little
Yeah.
swirl on that head.
Yeah. No, that's it's a cool logo too.
That's
Like
so sick.
I
Thank
I
you.
always get really excited like when I see like the like I've done like band logos, I've done album artwork like logo mock-ups for bands. And it's like, I'm a somewhat creative person when it comes to that too, but like obviously when someone has like a logo that I could just like plug in and use, I'm like perfect, that's cool.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sweet because this is gonna look really cool on top of a guitar now. So yeah, I'm
It
excited
does.
about
It
the
looks
collab for sure.
sick. Yeah, so the month of July, Tactical Black Bolt is going to be an official sponsor of Heavy Mental Breakdown. We'll have your logo on the flyers. We'll shout you out for all the episodes in July. And yeah, where can people buy this at? Where can people get this if they're interested in this?
So my website is tacticalblackvault.com. And then I have a pretty big presence now on Instagram. Well, let me backtrack. I'm very responsive on Instagram. To a fault, my phone is always tied to my hand for both
Yeah,
businesses.
I get it.
So like people will send me a reply or ask me a question and stuff, and like you can usually, unless I'm like sleeping, you can expect an answer back in like a few minutes from me usually. Like I said, annoyingly to a fault. Sometimes I should put my phone down and actually like pay attention to more
You have a
things.
waterproof thing, so even when you're in the shower,
No, I gotta draw the line somewhere.
yeah, try that.
No, knowing me, I'll put the camera on accident,
Yeah.
and it'll be shit people don't want to, they'll see the wrong knobs.
Yeah. The wrong knobs. You don't want to see the wrong
Yeah,
knobs.
no,
But yeah, no, this is really cool. And I've been playing guitar since I was in middle school.
awesome.
Slipknot got me into playing music.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, it was Joey Jordison who got me into it, but I've been playing guitar ever since. And one of the first songs I learned was Eyeless off the first Slipknot album. So,
Really cool.
to be able to have a custom guitar knob on my guitar is going to be fucking sick, dude. And
Yeah.
I
No.
can't wait to show it off and show everybody,
Yeah.
and then lead
I
them all
feel
to you.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah,
I'm at some point, if this becomes a full-time gig for me, that would be really, really cool.
yeah,
Like I said, I have a passion for it. I really enjoy doing it.
yeah. You can see
Yeah,
it too that you love it.
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm still reeling over the fact that Linkin Park was your first concert. That's so cool.
I'm going
I
to tell you the
saw,
lineup really quick because it is
yeah,
the
yeah.
lineup of that show is the most fascinating thing I've ever been a part of. So it was AFI opened.
Okay.
AFI, POD, Puddle of Mud, Sum 41, System of a Down,
Dude,
and Linkin Park headlined.
that's a great show. That's a great
I'm
show,
like,
man.
it goes from like Fat Lip to Blurry to fucking Prison Song to In the End. Fuck, I'm like, what is happening right now?
That's it's somewhat eclectic,
Oh my
but
God.
it works. Man, my first concert was Veruca Salt opening up for Bush.
Oh, sick.
Back when all the original members of Bush and stuff like that too. That was a great
Yeah.
concert. I was like 12, I think, at the time.
There's some Bush songs that just do it for me every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
So
that?
yeah, that's why the grunge. And then it was that, and then I didn't go to another concert for like until '99. I saw Korn and Rob Zombie here, which was a great show. That was
Mm.
really cool.
I've
Then I
never
took a
seen
big.
Korn with Rob Zombie, but I've seen Manson with Rob Zombie.
That's cool. I saw Manson last year with Five
Sick.
Finger Death Punch and Slaughter to
I'm
Prevail.
so glad he's back. Oh, Slaughter to Prevail was there too, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did some custom knobs for Jack from Slaughter to Prevail.
Oh, no
So
shit. That's
that
sick.
was that was the into that show, which was really really cool.
I am a huge Slaughter fan.
Same. Yeah, if you go back, I think one of the pinned posts on my thing on Instagram, we went back and forth with an idea that he had, and I ended up taking. I bought some spent 50 cal sniper rifle casings, and I made 50 cal sniper rifle knobs for
That's
his
cool.
guitar.
That's hella
That
cool.
was probably one of my favorite projects I did for as far as like custom stuff goes.
Mm.
I still have a bunch of them at the workshop. So if anybody wants those, yeah, let me know. But
That
anyways,
is
yeah,
sick.
that was cool.
Yeah, I saw them about a month ago, Slaughter. I saw them with Whitechapel.
I haven't seen
Did
Whitechapel yet. I want to see them. Yeah,
mm,
Slaughter's great. Their energy,
yeah,
holy shit,
yeah.
holy shit.
Wait, did they go through Arizona that on that show on that tour?
Um, no, because I would have definitely known because Whitechapel I would have wanted to see for sure. They were here. It had to have been last year, 25. It wasn't
Oh,
24.
okay.
It was Slaughter, um, Slaughter. Oh shit, I've seen Slaughter twice now. It was Slaughter and Falling in Reverse. And
Interesting.
Hollywood Undead. It was Hollywood Undead, Slaughter, and Falling in Reverse last year. So it had to have been 2024 because it was
Mm.
Slaughter, Five Finger Death Punch, and or Slaughter, Manson, and Five Finger Death Punch.
I'm
So I've seen
so
them
bummed I
twice.
missed that show.
Yeah, that was amazing.
They didn't come to New York. The closest place was DC,
Yeah,
and I just couldn't get down there at the time. But
yeah, I know.
anyway, anyway, so what's the future of Tactical Black Bolt? What do you? I know you've been doing this for 6 years now. You're having fun with it.
Mhm.
Um, but where does it go from here?
I am always looking for ideas to expand what I do. I'm currently have some ideas of like how to do the what you call it, like the extension of like the stomp like pads for like pedals. So like
Mm.
they can make the surface area bigger. The the actual word is like leaving me right now, but I've had people asking about that for like for the guitar pedals, like, hey, I just want a bigger surface area, so like a little cover, because with that I can hopefully like put their logo like further down in it, so like they're not actually stepping like on the logo part, but it's like further down in the knob, so they could,
Mm,
so it's like more customizable. So like, so pedal
yeah,
covers. I've had people ask about doing the actual tuning buttons, tuning pegs for the
that's cool.
guitar. There's going to be some other pieces of equipment that I have to invest in order to do that, but it's all like up here. Um, but yeah, I just doing what I'm
Yeah,
doing, trying to
yeah,
connect with artists, trying to
yeah.
make things grow. Just keep the business as consistent as I can, and like I said, hopefully hopefully in the future that it's something that I can maybe do full time. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal in all of this,
That's the
right? For
goal.
us to be able to do all
Absolutely.
the things we love full time.
Yep.
It's not that
Absolutely.
easy, though. Why do they
Yeah.
make it so hard on us to be able to achieve something that we love and do something that we love? Why is it so hard to do that? Gosh.
I'm trying to think of a good answer. Because I don't know, maybe because sometimes just like when you have a passion about something, you just really don't care like if the money's there or
Right.
not, or like,
But you need it though in order to
but you need it
survive
still to survive, so you have to do something else
that you
to
hate.
whatever.
Not hate, but a lot of
Yeah,
us
I
don't
mean,
like our job, so.
yeah, I mean, I enjoy, both of what I do, so
Right, right.
I'm fortunate with that.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
the hardest thing is obviously having two things you're passionate about, and then really juggling the time. Because when I'm doing knobs, it's after working 12
Mm.
hours at my business because we have morning and nighttime classes that we do and all stuff in between. So I'm usually there from like 7 to 7:30 pretty much every day
Oh,
except the
wow.
weekend. And so yeah, so then I get home and it's of course I want to be able to spend time with my wife and kids. So it's doing that, or do I go work for another 4 or 5 hours, working on orders, and so that's part of the reason why my lead time is what it is. But the other time too is order. I'm fortunate to have some order volume, and some. I also need time to actually spend time with my
Yeah.
family too.
Yeah, it's all a
With
balancing
this,
act.
it's a
The
huge
whole thing.
balancing act. Yeah, but I have passion for both, and always will. So
Well, we can tell that through just looking at you and hearing you. Well, with that being said, you said your website is tacticalblackbolt.com.
yes,
And what's your Instagram? What's that handle? Is it the same thing?
same thing. Tactical Black Vault. Yep. So
Super easy.
easy to find me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, if not, if if you haven't found me, more than likely I'll one of my things I like to do is like just take bands that I really enjoy personally, or bands that I think have really cool logos, and I'll mock up stuff and make stories and things like that.
Yeah.
To any band that I've done that out there, hopefully I haven't been too annoying to you. But it's just because I have a passion for it. That's all.
Yeah.
I've been more aggressive lately trying to do that to get my name out there too. But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes people don't care, and either way, I'm all cool for it. Yeah.
Either way, you're going to do you.
Yep.
Well, like I said, so Tactical Black Bolt is going to be sponsor of Heavy Mental Breakdown starting July 1st, which is
Awesome.
probably just in a couple days now,
Yeah.
isn't it? I don't know what day it
Wednesday,
is
I think.
today. Oof.
It'll be yeah, gosh, today is the 28th already. My brother's birthday, actually. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
You know what? On Wednesday, I'm gonna have this episode come out Wednesday.
Cool.
It is
I'm
coming out.
excited.
So this is not shot on the first, but we're putting it on the first because today's our first day that you're official sponsor of the podcast. And
I'm
thank you for
excited.
doing this, man. I thank you for coming in and telling your story. Um, I know we both kind of a lot of us have this imposter syndrome and talking to artists like you or you talking to me or me talking to Jay, no matter what it is, we're all just people going through emotions
We
and trying to support each other and hang out. That's all we're
Yeah,
trying to
no,
do.
absolutely. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I was excited to do this. I've done a few of them, but this I think was the longest one that I've done so far.
Thick.
And I talk a lot, I think, once you
You're
get me
good.
going.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's good for a podcast.
Exactly. I was just like, there's nothing better than someone who likes to talk on a podcast. There's nothing better than
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no. I was super excited. Yeah, super excited.
Well, is there anything else you want to plug before we wrap this up? Anything else you wanna say?
Um,
Or
just to anybody that has talked to me on Instagram, bought stuff from me on Instagram, have projects going with me currently that we're discussing back and forth. The deepest thank you that I can ever have. So just really appreciate it.
yeah. And my deepest thank you is to all my guests. So thank you, Josh, for coming on and sharing your story and about your company and your family. And that's such a cool thing you guys have going on, just like the company
Appreciate it.
business and now the knobs and
Yep.
who knows where it'll go.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Onward and upward. Yep.
Onward and upward. Well, Josh, thank you so much for jumping on this, man, and I'll see you in Arizona sometime.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah,
If you have
yeah.
if you have a few minutes too after we're done recording, also I have a few other questions, but
Absolutely, absolutely.
cool.
Well, I'll see you at a Slaughter to Prevail show then.
Definitely.
I'll see you there, my friend. Thank you so much. Your
Yes.
knobs rock. And I'm talking about the
Thank you.
guitar knobs, not the other knobs you were talking about earlier. Your knobs rock, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.